Hey guys, Jen Conrad here. And you guys, I always vowed to show up real and authentic and vulnerable on my platform. And so today I'm coming to you guys because I think I need to be reminded of this more than anything. But I know that a lot of you are following our journey. A lot of you have been praying for us. And I just feel like I've always asked God on this journey to use this journey to inspire, to motivate, and to bring him all the glory. And so, you guys who don't know me, I am a serial entrepreneur. I am a mom to 6 kiddos. We have 3 biological, 2 in the trenches of adoption, 1 that we have loved as our own over in Africa. I am a military wife. I've been a military wife for 23 years. And you guys, we are in the trenches of an international adoption during a pandemic. And I just really feel like during a crisis is when we really see what we're made of. You guys, we got some really hard news last week. Our adoption agency, the one that has been with us through this whole process, guys, we've actually been in the process for over 5 years. People don't really realize that because there was a lot of waiting and wondering and just trying to find some traction on even if we can make this happen for our kids. But they lost their accreditation. And so what we're finding out from this journey is that there is kind of a push to stop international adoptions in regards to the United States allowing them to happen. We understand that. We understand that trafficking is a big issue. We understand that these things are in place because it's to protect the child. We also know that adoption is not always the answer. And I will first tell you that my kiddos should not have been actually in the trenches of adoption. They have living parents, and I believe that more work needs to be done within that country to really work on empowering and giving parents the tools and the education and the resources to be able to keep their children. But the reality is that it's a third world country, that they do not have the conveniences that we have. They don't have the ability to necessarily, build businesses and do the things that we can do during a time of pandemic. A lot of us have lost streams of income. We've had to make shifts. We've had to do things like that. And so now we're looking at, okay, what can I do from home to serve other people? And that hasn't really caught on over there yet. And so what we found out was that the United States government is, again, being very, very diligent about issuing visas to families who have already adopted. So we have kids that we've legally adopted over there. We have permission to take them out of country according to the government. But the US now comes in and they do their investigation. They do their interviews and everything before they issue visas for them. And we've been told that this process is going to be difficult because of our children's orphan status. They do not have the traditional abandonment laws over there. And so that's been a fight. But yesterday, we were referred to a lawyer who will take our case. And we were told that I should prepare to move to Africa for 3 months. And I want to tell you, at that moment, my world came crashing down. You guys, I've been reading the book Dangerous Prayers, and it's all about search me, break me, use me. And I feel like, Lord, I've already been broken. I've already been broken for what breaks your heart. I've already said yes. I've said yes to these kiddos. I've said yes to just trusting in you. I've said yes to pivoting in my business when I felt the need and the calling. I said yes to all the things. And why are you now picking me up and moving me to a third world country in order to fight for our children? And you guys, I want to tell you that my first reaction was, I'm not doing it. I am not doing this. And it would have been easy. My human mind wanted to be like, oh, they're just ours on paper. Where in the world did that come from? And I know that was the enemy creeping in. And I know that some of you that are not involved or have not been involved in adoption might say, gosh, that's just an easy decision. Like, you've got kids here and they're your biological children and they're the ones that need you. But guess what, you guys? We have 2 kids over there who were not born in my body, but were born in my heart. And I had to have someone who's been through this really talk me through and be like, well, what would you do if your other sons were, needed you to go and be with them for 3 months in order to give them freedom? Would you do it? And in a heartbeat, I was like, yes. Like, there wouldn't even be a question. And so today I'm just struggling. I'm trying to get more answers. I'm just trying to process, like, what does that even look like? I mean, right now borders are closed. International travel is not even a thing. And what will that look like for my mindset, for my family? And I've been wrestling a lot with God. I am so fortunate that I am so surrounded by people who just love Jesus so much, who can speak life into me when I can't see it for myself, who can remind me who I am, who can remind me what I said yes to, and who can remind me that we are not called to do easy. Easy is boring. And I keep going back to the Dangerous Prayer book, but it talks about how if you're not seeing resistance in your life, then you're not playing big enough. And although the resistance of losing, a main source of income, losing friendships, being told I have to go and live in Africa, losing our adoption agency, like, that would be enough for a lot of people to throw in the towel. But when you do God things, when you do world shifting things, we have to rest in faith. And I feel like I've been such a control freak my whole entire life. I've had a husband that's gone over to war, and I felt like I needed to control something. I've always felt like I've needed to control every single detail of the outcome of my life. And this process has taught me that it's not about me. It's not about me at all. It's about, and I don't have to have it figured out. It's about trusting in him. It's trusting that he sees things that we don't see. It's trusting that no matter what, no matter how hard it can get, that he hasn't left me. He hasn't left us. He hasn't left our kids. And he didn't bring us to this moment to abandon us. And so I want you, no matter what you're going through right now, I want you to remember that a crisis really shows you what we're made of. Because again, you have 2 different types of people right now. You have the people that are just sitting at home waiting for this to end. And you have the people now who are building businesses, who are finding ways to serve. They're being a light in this space. They are committed that this is not going to derail them, but it's going to make them stronger. And so I want to, again, like I said, sometimes I feel like I need to talk it out loud so that I can hear it, that I can hear my truths. But now more than ever, we don't have to have it figured out. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what a week brings. We don't know what a year from now brings. And so I just felt like I needed to come on here in the midst of my anguish, in the midst of, trying to keep it all together, that I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone in, just feeling like you're paralyzed and feeling like, you don't know where to turn. But I can tell you that you need to take the time to be still. You need to take the time to really surround yourself with amazing people that can see the journey, can see you for who you are, and can help direct you. Okay? So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being a part of our journey and our story. I know that our journey and story have touched more people than I even can imagine. And it always surprises me how far it's gone. But right now, we just need prayers. We need prayers that God works out every single detail, um, and that this is truly coming from Him and something He's asking us to do for the second chance for our children.